I'm Anissa with BeGlad. BeGlad is a professional development model in the areas of language acquisition and literacy. We have over 70 strategies in our instructional model. In today's video, we will show you how to use strategies for engagement during distance learning. It is especially important to incorporate strategies that increase engagement and comprehension during distance learning. Whether you are teaching live or recording a video that students will be watching later, these tools are especially helpful to keep students excited about learning. Typically, in the classroom, we have students come close to the chart so they can interact and engage with them. You can still do that during distance learning, it just may look a little different. Here are 2 strategies you can try out during distance learning. In the classroom for direct instruction, we often use large chart paper, and we utilize proximity by physically bringing our students close to the information. During distance learning, we will often use a document camera, and instead of using a large sheet of chart paper, we will use a regular sized sheet of paper. It is the same strategy, just on a smaller scale. Some ways to make your lesson engaging is to continue to use the 7 hip pocket tools. Even if students are on mute or have their video off, they can still participate by say it with me, read it with me, and do the gesture with me. This will give students the opportunity to practice the vocabulary and produce oral language all from home. Just as we do in the traditional classroom, we want to teach the information in manageable chunks. Once you've taught a portion of the chart, take a picture of it and upload it on your school's online platform. That way, students have access to it at any time. Students can even use it as a reference as they do note-taking in their learning logs. Another direct instruction strategy is called the narrative input chart. Say and do that with me. Narrative input chart. This is where we take a story and read it with the visuals readily accessible for students to use as a scaffold. There are many ways you can teach this online and during distance learning, such as using Google Slides and Pear Deck. This next clip is an example of that process.
Okay, so this is what the student sees, and I cannot go forward or go back. I see the screen as Wanda, the teacher, presents each slide.
So again, the first day, this is what they would see, the virtual background. I would read the story, and they would see it. So at this moment, the students aren't interacting yet, they're just listening. So I'm just gonna go ahead to our next slide. Okay, so at this slide, I have already read the story and all my pictures are up and the kids can see the sequence.
From there, you would move on to the next lesson on day 2. This lesson is called the word card review. Say it and do that with me. Word card review. Watch as the teacher shows you how to do this virtually.
And this time we're going to do a word card review. Now in my word cards, I have vocabulary that I really want the students to focus on, that I want them to learn. And so what I would do is I would have the students read each card with me. Now, if you know, in a regular narrative input chart, you would see that the students, if they were in a physical classroom, they would all have, different students would have cards, they'd read it with their partners, and as you retell the story, they would go up to the background and they would place the cards where they would go. But we can't do that in a virtual setting, so this is the next best thing. So in this situation, I would tell the students, okay, boys and girls, I'm gonna retell the story. You see the red dot. When you hear that, when you hear the words that go with this scene or this event, go ahead and place a red dot on that word card. So in this case, I would say Dionisio, the farmer, was preparing the field in order to plant corn. So then I would wait, and then my students would go and they would place the dot on the corresponding card. Now, I will show you at the end. On my side, I can see what the students are doing. So I can see in real time if they're putting it in the right place or not, and I can even send feedback through the Pear Deck. But this is a way for students all to be interactive on the narrative input chart. And so we would proceed that way. And so then what we did is we added the card to the picture so they can start to see that story being built on the virtual background. And we'll just do one more of these. So in this, I would retell it again. So Dionisio, he was finishing clearing the land. He pulled the last bush, and then he saw a glowing red light.
The next step of the process is to repeat the same steps. Except this time, instead of using word cards, you're going to use conversation bubbles. Say and do that with me. Conversation bubbles. Conversation bubbles is where we teach and review the dialogue that happens in the story. You can simply add on to your previous day's lesson. The rest of the lessons in the narrative input chart cycle is included in the online Be Glad training. Comment below what story you'll use for your narrative input chart. For more teacher-friendly strategies, check out our online Be Glad training, now available in K-12, Pre-K, and Spanish. We will put a link to our website in the description box below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for new videos. Teach on and be glad.